Hello, my name is Roisin Duffy and I work as a tutor for the Dublin and DDLETB Adult Education Service. Today I'll be demonstrating pruning roses and taking cuttings. Please remember to stay safe by washing your hands, social distancing and observing the government COVID-19 guidelines. Enjoy the video.
Go.
Okay?
Yeah.
So today's video here we're going to do rose cuttings and rose pruning as well. So when you have roses you have to be careful of things like black spot. I just go through that really quick. Black spot, to get rid of it, there's a few different examples. People put vinegar, mixture of vinegar, baking soda and water and washing up liquid, and that's meant to get rid of it. And also milk, a bit of milk and water is meant to get rid of the fungal end of it. So I am going to just show you, we need the fresh growth, the green growth. So the difference is, I'm going to climb into it there. So this here is old growth, you can see it's gone woody, see it's woody here, that's old growth. What we want is fresh new green growth. See this growth here? So what I'm doing is, while I'm doing this, I'm going to prune back, and I've gotten permission to do this, they said I could. So I'm going to prune back their roses. So you can see here, this is growing inwards and this is growing outwards. So I'm going to get rid of that inwards one, because when you're doing roses you have to do the 3 Ds and get rid of diseased, damaged and dead wood. That's what we have to do, disease, damage and dead wood. So I am going to cut it here, and by me cutting it here, this will encourage this to grow out there. Damaged, so this is dead wood there, so get rid of that. This is dead wood here, so get rid of that. So when you actually, take this with me, by the time you're finished actually getting rid of the 3 Ds, you'd be amazed how much you've gotten rid of. So when you're doing this, keep cutting down. I'm going to actually cut down to here. There's nice healthy ones there for growing cuttings. They're okay for the moment. Deadwood there, it's just the old buds here. This one's growing inwards, this one's growing outwards, so I'm going to cut just above that. Mind your fingers obviously. Okay, put that there. So when you're cutting roses you actually get rid of almost 2/3 without even realising it. I'm going to put this bit right down. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting it down to a healthy leaf or a node, and that is here. See these, they're starting to sprout already, but normally they just look, can you come in a bit closer there, Ren? Normally they just look like slits somebody cut with a knife, but that's it there, that's going to turn into a leaf or a stem, and that's going to turn into a leaf or a stem here. This has already happened. You see it on the younger ones easier, so you can see it here, there's a node, there's a node. So their roses have very distinctive nodes. So I'm going to come back and prune their rose bush better after the video. So I just want to take these, and we're going to head inside and show you how to take cuttings from these. So here they are here. Now I don't know how to edit a video, so you have to see us walking there. No idea. So I'm going to just take one example for the moment. I like to take as long as I can of an example. The reason why I do that is that I can always cut it shorter, but you can't add it back on. So if you keep it as long as you can and cut 10 times, 20 times, who cares? So you can see here, this is already a node that's sprouted, that's becoming a stem. So I'm actually going to just cut that away. And this is what I wanted. See this joint here? This is I want to just go, see here, now, there. So the reason why, there's actually 2 nodes there, and I'm going to take away this bit here. So this is actually a bit late for doing this, but we'll still give it a shot. Take away half the leaves. We don't need these leaves. We just need a few for photosynthesis, so that's the energy that from the sun. So wipe these off. Don't forget to do that. Wipe them off. You need to use some sort of a natural oil, any natural oil, olive oil, WD-40, whatever you have. But wipe your tools, because that'll leave a sack on it and damage it. Now, you take your cutting, childproof, you dip it in your, we never use this in botanic gardens, but I'm just going to use it for the sake of it because it's in your syllabus. You tap off the excess, so this is rooting hormone, sorry I forgot to say that's rooting hormone I'm using.
Sure.
It's meant to encourage it, but by cutting at the nodes correctly, sorry?
Show it again.
Show it again, that,
no,
oh sorry, rooting hormone, rooting powder. So by cutting at the correct node, this is actually has natural rooting hormone in it, so you shouldn't actually need any rooting hormone. Some people use honey and some people use turmeric as well, so there's different versions. So what we'll do is I'll use my spoon again and I will make my hole there and I'll put it in, and there we go. Now actually I'm going to move this into the middle. And the reason why I'm doing that is, I'm only going to show you one example there, is because I want to show you that because of the changing weather, we're getting very cold weather, very cold nights, days, and then it's really warm. Right now it's quite warm, it's probably about 12, Brendan, 14 degrees. Yeah. Yesterday you needed a jumper, it was freezing. So this isn't good for the plants wise. So what I want to do is I'm going to make a mini greenhouse. So I cut off the bottom of this and I put it on top. Just cut away any leaves that touch the edges. So you need a nice wide container, but it has to be the width of the plant or the pot you're growing in as well. So use something like this. If it gets too hot, open the lid, and then if it doesn't, there you go, great. Yeah. So put that on, and to show you that it actually does work, these are examples I took. Now some had rooting hormone and some didn't, so I can't actually remember which ones I did. This guy you can see isn't looking very healthy. I put in some carnations, I'll go through them in a minute. This one actually looks quite healthy here. This one, maybe, it's not dead. It still has a leaf, it's not dead. This is what you want. See this little sprout? Do you see that there? That's what you want. That's a good sign. That means the node that you have exposed is growing very well. Also, when you're cutting above, we always take away any flowers or anything like that, because that produces a negative hormone for the rooting powder. So cut away as low down as you can without it touching off the node, so that becomes dead wood. So the reason why if you left loads, could cause disease, and that wouldn't be good either. So this one here, can you see inside my greenhouse? Can you see? Will I take it off to show? Yeah. Just to show you, I'll put it back on then. I don't want to knock off the others. But look how healthy that is, and that's by simply just putting on putting on this plastic container. That's all I did. So you can see how I didn't even open it. So I'm going to try and put it back on, but that is looking very healthy. These are all planted at the same time, except for the carnations. These were all planted at the exact same time. So just to show you that I think it does work, and if you have these bottles, use them. I just have to be careful. Those leaves might get, if they get any bigger, I'm going to take off this container because I don't want them touching off the edges and then getting a mold and dying from that. That wouldn't be good. I'm going to show you the other tray I have here. Now, this is another tray. I just put a carnation in. There's a carnation beside it and a carnation. These are just from a bunch of flowers that I bought for my house, and I just took off the carnations and the flowers on top, and these were on the bottom just to make room in the vase. So that's all these are. So I did dip them in a bit of rooting hormone as well, this one as well. So I just need to keep an eye on that it's not rubbing off. It looks like it might just be barely, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. You can see some of them, like this is a goner. That's not working. This one's after producing a new little sprout there, so they could, I'm not sure about this one. These had tiny little thorns on them, tiny, but they had the most amazing smell. They have a lovely pink flower, and the perfume from them is just absolutely gorgeous. And these roses are actually older than I am. And just by the way, these wallflowers, have you seen them? They're here all year long. We have them all year long, and you should smell. The smell is amazing. It's like candy floss. And they actually self-seed, and these are the parents of these are actually older than myself and my brother as well. And these, you can see little babies are growing here. These little baby plants there, the little baby plant there. There's little babies here. So if I just plant them up, I can put them everywhere. But these will spread, and they, like I said, all year we get from these. So they're not annuals. These just seem to just last, and they're lovely colours. So I want to leave that there, and I want to show you. This is a bunch of flowers, roses that were in water from a bunch of flowers. Now, look, the top looks terrible, I know. This is what happens with dead wood. See this? This is where a disease can hit, but it stopped at that node. So what I do is, one worked. You can see here, this one works, look very healthy. This one doesn't look healthy at all, but it's not dead, so I'm going to try it. I'm going to cut it back to a healthy node, like this. And I'm going to cut this back to that shoot, there. And I'm actually going to cut the bottoms so that they're back into a node as well. Oops. And this one, it's looking a bit slimy there, but it might work. So I'm going to dip them into my rooting powder. Make sure you get the top and the bottom right way around, because it will not work. You know, because the shoots are growing up, okay? In there. Oh, knocked a bit off. And in here. So this is really pushing it for growing 3 of these, to be honest. I'm going to grow these outside, don't leave them open. I'm going to leave them outside, but I'm going to cover them. And I also found this in the shed. I got these a long time ago. These are cloches. And what these are for seed. I can actually put these down outside on the ground and put this on top. And they're for the soil, because you can see there's these brackets that go push into the sides. And there's vents on top. This is a tree pack. I think we paid something like €2 for these, they're sealed. They have a vent on top as well, see, they let the air in or out, because they do get quite hot. So I would leave them like that. I'd separate it and put it on, and there you go. That could last for weeks like that. So you don't actually have to, I just found them in the shed, I didn't buy them. So, oh, and I want to show you, do I have time to show this? What time are we on?
12 minutes, 13 minutes.
13 minutes, okay, well I'll do another class. I'll do another class on another video on dividing. I want to divide rhubarb, I'm going to divide these roses, and I'll do that then. Okay, bye.